Could be seeing anywhere from 1 to 3 inches of snow. Then we do get a little bit of drier time on Wednesday, and we're actually going to increase our temperatures to the mid-50s, though it does get knocked down into the mid-40s once we head into Friday, and our nights are going to be pretty chilly as well.
Thanks, Dan. David, it looks like it might be a good thing that those fall sports are starting to wrap up and you're moving indoors for winter sports.
Today, like we said last week, I was in the Carrier Dome. There was a roof over the stadium. It was actually heated too, and they're getting air conditioning too also, so hopefully they won't need that anytime soon. But we've got the sectional championship games for football. We got highlights and interviews for you right after the break. Friday night Beyond the Lights, Week 10.
The games to see, the players to watch. Friday night, Beyond the Lights, starts now.
Tonight is the night that the question we've been wondering about all season finally gets an answer. Which team will win the sectional championship in high school football? And in Section 3 Class D, it came down to two state-ranked teams. 5th-ranked Dolgeville hosting 6th-ranked Adirondack in the Carrier Dome in Syracuse. No score in the first quarter. Jared Belinsky gets the ball. No surprise that that was the game plan. After he ran for 4 touchdowns last week, massive ones too. This is the biggest of them all, an 84-yarder to make it 6-0 Blue Devils. Now into the second quarter, quarterback Greg Gagne goes for the handoff to Belinsky, but when he gets the ball so often, it's a great fake. Pulls the ball back, now he's off to the races. A 50-yard touchdown run makes it a 2-score lead for Dolgeville. Now, final seconds of quarter 3, same score, Belinsky again. The Syracuse Orange fight song, by the way, says, "Down, down the field goes old Syracuse." Don't know if you've heard it before, but maybe tonight it was more like, "Down, down the field goes Jared Belinsky." His second of the night makes it 20-0. He's led the team all season. Adirondack does score in the fourth quarter with a touchdown reception by Cregan Rogers, but that's it. Dolgeville wins its 18th sectional title in program history. In 8-man football played right before that, West Canada had lost to Morrisville Eaton earlier in the year. They get a chance at a rematch tonight. And head coach Todd Hopen said if they want to win this one, they'd have to take some risks. And how about a risk like this, a 65-yard bomb down the field from Braden Shepherdson to Sean Burdick, who hauls it in. And down by 2 now is West Canada Valley, 16-14 after the conversion. But then early in quarter 2, that was the first of 3 touchdowns in a row for West Canada to end the half, including that deep throw with 6 seconds left before halftime, 33 yards, nearly intercepted, but Cameron Ludwig seals the deal. And West Canada's up by 12. 5 different players scored touchdowns for West Canada, but it was the defense that might have helped out. Right after an interception, West Canada's defense runs it into the end zone for the safety. 2 huge points as West Canada now has to stop the offense on a 2-point try in the last seconds of the game. They get the job done. They were up by 2 because of that safety. They win by 2, and West Canada gets its first sectional title since 1997, 38-36, and the team says it knew it had to be strong on both sides of the ball to get the title.
We talked about it all week. We were on a mission, and that was not only to get here, but to win. And it was going to take a defensive stand, and darn it, that's what it was. So guys played hard. They played with their hearts. They left everything on the field. I couldn't be more proud of them what they did.
We played with them before, and we just knew we had to come with a different mindset and play tough throughout the game. So I think we played a lot more physical, and that helped us. Our defense stepped up.
There is no state tournament game for 8-man football, so West Canada ends its season as the last team standing. In college sports, we just saw Herkimer College men's soccer win in the NJCAA National quarterfinals last night in penalty kicks. So tonight they played in the semifinals, same game that they had lost in the tournament just last season, which was actually just 5 months ago, delayed because of COVID. Tonight, Herkimer fell behind 1-0 in the first half, but Herkimer on the offensive in the second. Proctor graduate Ali Somo with the kick in, and the Region 3 Player of the Year had an assist on a goal tonight. Now on the right side, Mitchell Bordeaux over toward goal to Yamato Fujishima, who scores, makes it 3-1 Generals, and Herkimer College is on to the national championship game, which will be played Sunday, 1 p.m., Herkimer College. In the women's semifinals, Mohawk Valley Community College falls to Brookhaven 3-1. CVA grad Riley Rich scored off a corner kick by other CVA grad Jasmine Gillette. Those two have scored all of the Hawks' goals in the national tournament, but they'd only get that one tonight. After the break, we'll take a look at some winter sports, basketball and ice hockey that are going on. We've got scores from tonight and also previews for this weekend. Next.
This is Friday Night Beyond the Lights on WUTR.
Winter sports are also underway right now, especially for our local college teams. High school winter sports can begin practicing on Monday. Tonight in women's basketball, it was the season opener for Hamilton College, their third game of the year, too, for SUNY Oneonta. And both teams were looking for their first win of the season. It's the Continentals that get it. Notre Dame graduate Claire Sering scored 12 points for Hamilton. Utica College men's basketball played its season opener tonight, too. At the Rutgers Newark tournament in the semifinals, only 4 teams. The Pioneers topped Eureka College by 17 as Whitesboro graduate Thomas Morial led UC with 31 points. Utica next plays tomorrow at 3 in the tournament title game. Ice hockey's also been underway, not just the Utica Comets, who are off to their hottest start in team history with 8 wins, tying their 1920 start. Colgate women's ice hockey is ranked 5th in the nation, and the Raiders picked up their 12th win of the season with an overtime win over RPI, and the men's team also got a win to get back to 500 on the year. In Division III, Utica College men's ice hockey gets its 3rd win in a row and remains undefeated in UCHC conference play. The nationally ranked 3rd Pioneers racked up the goals again, 10-1 victory tonight. They're now averaging more than 10 goals a game. Utica College men's ice hockey is looking forward to maybe a more normal and full season ahead, as the Pioneers had the top seed in the NCAA Division III tournament back in 2020, but never got to see a game played of that because the pandemic canceled it. And then last year, UC went 9-3 overall with an 8-game win streak that was ended only by a triple overtime upset in the conference semifinals. This year, Utica College ranked 3rd in the country, and they've outscored conference opponents now 31-2 through their first 3 conference games. And head coach Gary Heenan says one of the strengths of the team this year comes from having 18 returning players.
You know, we've got talent, we've got speed, we've got a lot of experience. It's adding in new parts out of a few that have left and trying to get them to gel as quickly as we can. With Connor Landrigan leaving us as an All-American captain, it's a big loss, but the losses were so few. So, you know, compared to everybody else, and a lot of these teams didn't get a chance to play at all last year, and we took advantage of playing 14 games when they didn't. So there's some continuity. There's a great group of experience here. We do have 3 super seniors that were allowed a free year that are doing their MBA. They came back to take advantage of that. There's just an excitement in the room to say, hey, the last 2 years we got robbed of not having an NCAA tournament. Let's try and get out there and get one this year.
Heenan says the Pioneers' loss to Adrian College in overtime in their 3rd game of this season was a wake-up call, because he says his team came in thinking it might just naturally be good and beat teams. But that was an eye-opener that's forced the team to stay hungry. Clearly, they've been hungry and they've scored. The team next plays tomorrow, 3 p.m. at Stevenson University. Utica College football plays tomorrow in a game dedicated to Veterans Day, final game of the regular season. Then we look ahead to next week to see if the Pioneers make the playoffs. After the break, it's always a special announcement. We'll feature this week's Athlete of the Week. Stay tuned.
You're watching Friday Night Beyond the Lights on WUTR.
So imagine being a high schooler on a varsity soccer team. Then imagine being a 7th grader who plays on the varsity soccer team with players who are maybe 2, 3, 4, 5 years older than you if they're seniors. Well, that was a reality for one girls soccer player this year. Franklin Central School 7th grader Shannon Kingsbury took Section 4 by storm this season, not just for her individual success, but also how she helped the team succeed. And that's why she's this week's Eyewitness Sports Athlete of the Week.
When Franklin Central School 7th grader Shannon Kingsbury took the field for her first varsity soccer game, many thought they should keep their expectations in check.
I was definitely nervous.
But when Kingsbury scored 3 goals in the first 15 minutes of play and 5 in the game, those expectations went from in check to we might have to check them again.
She just has a knack for scoring goals. I was like, oh, she's already on a hat trick, and really can't take her out and set her down the rest of the game when we're already up.
Actually, after the first goal I scored, one of my teammates said, "Here's to your first goal and many more to come." And I felt like that was the moment that I knew I could keep up with everyone.
Her success didn't stop there. Kingsbury scored 35 goals this year and totaled 81 points, breaking single-season team records set in 1987.
I feel like I just was focused on everything, and when it was game day, it was game day.
Game day with her teammates, who Lang says are great players in their own right, and who Kingsbury says became like older sisters.
Sometimes when we're just playing soccer, I feel like we're all related somehow. One of the biggest pieces of advice was even if I feel like I'm not playing good, is to just keep going, because if I feel like that, then I'm probably not going to be playing good. But if I keep playing hard, then something will show.
The Purple Devils made it to the Section 4 Class D Finals, where they lost to Sknivis. Sknivis went on to play defending state champion Poland.
I think just how far I came in the first season, even like to see like my progress from when we first started, and actually our team's progress too, for like from the first day of preseason to the last game.
But there are times that she does show that she is the little kid that she is, which is a good thing. It's a real good thing. We don't want her to grow up too fast.
Well, Kingsbury has another 5 seasons still to be on this team and keep getting better. Kingsbury and Lang both added that the entire team helped her reach her potential this season by both acting as a support network and by being good goal scorers themselves. And that way, defenders couldn't just focus on Kingsbury alone. They had to leave her open sometimes to cover the others. Lang says the challenge for next year will once again be trying to keep expectations in check, but this time it's because they know how good she's capable of being. We have more after the break, so stay tuned.
This is Friday Night Beyond the Lights on WUTR.
Welcome back to Friday Night Beyond the Lights. So we got more games this weekend. New Hartford football is actually in the Carrier Dome at 3 p.m. tomorrow in the Class B Championship. So no weather there, Dan. But we have some others around the state. Cooperstown boys are in the semifinals at 2:15 p.m. at Fowler Field. And New Hartford girls soccer is at the semifinals. They'll be at TCCC. Poland girls soccer is going to be in the semifinals at Cortland. So they're all over the state. I'm going to be in Utica. What are we looking at here?
Well, it looks like we're going to be seeing a wintry mix, unfortunately, as we head into this weekend. You could see a little bit of slush out there, so make sure you're driving a little bit slower and taking it cautious out there.
All right. Well, if I drive out to that Carrier Dome game, we will have to be a little careful. So thank you, Dan. Thank you, Jamie. And thank you for watching Friday Night Beyond the Lights. Stay friendly and have a great weekend.